Hey guys. Okay, I had some stuff I had to figure out. I was trying to figure out like work boots and that kind of thing. Forgot about the fact that we need to, get some of those on stock back. Excuse me. This right here, I used a bottle of our purified water and I added a pinch of the Redmond's real salt and about probably that much lemon juice and a teaspoon of honey, raw honey, and I just shook it up, and it's really good, you guys. I am really tired right now, though. Okay, this one is on homegrown grains. In this chapter, I'm going to try to see if I can be prepared for lots of videos tomorrow, you guys, because I'm going to try to get through this chapter tomorrow, because I want to get us through this book. I have this to get through. I gotta clean up my area again. I have this to get through. We have this book to go through, the homesteading from scratch, right here. Because I'm going to be doing videos out of all of these. I already did a video on that. I have the magazines I want to do the videos on. Like, I've got those two sitting there, and I've got the Homestead magazines over here. So, we have a lot of ground to cover. Plus, there's all the pins, and I haven't even touched doing videos on the pins in quite a while, so. But those are the ones I'm usually having Chloe put the intros on, because they're longer videos. So, alright. So, Chapter 4, Homegrown Grains. There's nothing homier than a loaf of freshly baked bread. And how much homier would it be if that bread were made from wheat or corn you'd grown and milled yourself? One of our goals, guys, this is another reason why I want to talk to Sandy about getting that other lot, so we have room to grow our own grains. I mean, besides that, once we get to that point, we're going to have to anyway. Like anything else you grow in your garden, grains taste better when they're fresh. Their flavor is sweeter, nuttier, and more complex than that of grains that have sat on a shelf for months. Never mind grains that have been ground into flour and then stored for an indeterminate amount of time. When you grow your own grain, you get to grind it right when you need it, capturing as much of the flavor as possible, along with the nutrients. Depending on how much bread and pasta you eat, you may not have enough land to grow all the wheat needed to feed your whole family, but that doesn't mean you couldn't start with a pancake patch, a small patch of wheat to use for making pancakes on the weekends. Or maybe enough corn to eat during the summer and make popcorn for family movie night through the winter. Of course, you could also plant enough corn to freeze the extra and eat through the winter. Grain isn't just for eating, though. It's also a necessary ingredient in beer making, and fresh grains impart a unique flavor to the brew. I am not growing grains to make beer, guys. I will grow barley, but it's going to be for our family's food use for feeding our animals, that kind of thing. I am not making beer. I hate beer. And it's not going to be anywhere near my house. Not going to happen. Once you've got your pancake patch established, why not try your hand at growing and malting barley for making your own home brew? Not going to happen. Now, homemade wines, I will definitely try that, but not beer. Gross, not going to happen. Growing grains. When it comes to growing grains, following two simple rules will keep the experience positive. Number 1, think through the entire process before you begin. Number 2, start small. Preparing the ground and getting the seed in is only the first step in a long process. Each step requires time and energy and planning. You don't want to spend the summer admiring your amber waves only to realize at harvest time that you don't know how you're going to cut the grain fast enough to keep ahead of the birds and the thunderstorms. Before you drop the first seed into the ground, you need to answer these questions. How much grain do I want to harvest? How will I control the weeds in my grain? In case of drought, will I water or give up the crop? How will I harvest the grain? Will I need help? How will I thresh, winnow, and hull the grain? Where can I store my grain to protect it from bugs, rats, and heat? If you're a beginner and want success, your first grain crop should be corn. consider the advantage. If you're already a gardener, you're probably growing corn, and you only have to let a few ears go past their prime to have a grain crop. There's no worry about dealing with hulls when you grow corn. Just husks, and they're easily stripped away. It's easy, too, to twist dried corn off the ear, and you'll be delighted with the corn and cornmeal recipes in this book and wonder why you waited so long to try growing corn. I've grown corn. I know how to grow corn. The glass gem, as you guys saw in the garden tour of 2020, and in those videos that I did, that corn, I swear, got like 10 feet tall. It was just amazing, and the ears were spectacular. So I would absolutely recommend glass gem corn. It's beautiful, and it grows absolutely wonderfully. Okay. If you're a bit more ambitious, try wheat or triticale. It's very easy to grow, and you can harvest, thresh, store, and grind wheat in small amounts with little difficulty. Now, I do still have seeds for I think it's the hard, I don't know if it's the winter wheat berries or if it's the spring wheat. I don't remember. I have to get to those seed videos. Might have to try to do that tomorrow. Keep saying I'm going to, and we just have so much going on. I'm trying to do so many things, and I just don't have enough time to get to it. But I'm going to have to try to do that tomorrow. I did get some more potting soil. I'll have to try to get another bag tomorrow, and I've got to repot my lemon trees, my 5 little ones, because they're going to start dying if I don't. And I couldn't get the big bags like I wanted to. I just don't have the money. I would have needed almost $60 because those bags are like $16.99, but it's 2 cubic feet. I mean, that's a lot of potting soil. I just don't have the money, so I had to just have Scott go and get 2 bags of the Scott's potting soil, which they're $8.50 a piece. Unfortunately, they have wetting agents in them, which the soil stays really wet. I mean, as long as it's in something that it drains really well, it's not that big of a deal. But I also have to get my strawberry planter, like the tower, filled with potting soil. I have to plant those crowns in there, and then I also want to get another thing of strawberries so I can completely fill that tower. And then I have to get my lemon trees repotted, and I have to plant those apple seeds, which is another reason why I need another bag of potting soil tomorrow. Anyway, like those who have experimented with wheat, you will probably grow fond of having a wheat crop and want one each year. Again, that's why I want to try to see if we can make a deal with Sandy on the other lot. The thrill of biting into a piece of whole wheat bread and knowing that it is your bread. From planting to oven. And don't forget the many other dishes for which wheat is the base. Rye. Rye is the crop for the faint of heart. It is almost immune to failure. It's hardy, so there's little danger from frost and will grow in poor soil. It's a good cover crop, makes a fine green manure to turn under to replenish the soil, and is easy to harvest, thresh, and grind. Other grains involve one more step, and it can be a difficult one. The grains have hulls that must be removed or at least minimized. Millet. Millet hulls easily. Okay, millet is also something that I want us to be able to grow, but it's also something that's recommended to feed to guineas and quail. So, simply rub a handful of grain between your hands and the thin hulls will rub off. That's with millet. Barley. Barley has a hull that fits firmly into the crease of each grain and is hard to remove. The commercial method of wearing this down is called pearling. You can pearl small amounts of your own barley crop by popping it into the blender. Buckwheat. Buckwheat is not a true grain, has a kernel shaped like a beech nut and covered with a hard and inedible hull. By grinding the buckwheat, then sifting out pieces of the hull, a flour can be produced. Plus, I need to look on Amazon for a hand crank blender, and I know I can get one because Doug and Stacy got theirs from Amazon. And I got that right from Doug. Because on one of their videos that I was watching where Stacy is using a hand crank blender, I asked him where they got it from because I was having a hard time finding one. And he said Amazon, so. Oats. Oats are one of the easiest grains to grow and the hardest to hull. If you're growing oats for chickens or rabbits or horses, they'll handle the problem by ignoring the hull. If you're growing oats to eat, you find a method of hulling before you start or choose a hullless variety. Alright, I would probably choose a hullless variety because we're going to have so much going on, we're not going to have time to do that. Rice. Rice can be raised at home, but it is a challenge. It's a delicious grain that can be used in many ways, all of which most of us would forego if we had to raise our own rice. Remember that all of these can be purchased, ready for cooking or grinding, in natural food stores, and some of them are available in your supermarket. Well, our store sucks, and you can't get really any healthy food at all at our store, so. They are generally inexpensive, far less costly than foods that have been processed. If you buy grains at places than other than food stores, make certain they have not been chemically treated in some way to prepare them for planting. Okay. So, planting the grains. Okay, and in this it gives barley, buckwheat, corn. Alright, barley, 2 to 3 pounds. Out of 2 to 3 plants, you can harvest 25 to 65 pounds. Per acre, 75 to 100 pounds is what you want, and you'll harvest about 40 bushels. That's a lot. So with barley, if I ended up getting even 75 pounds of it, we would come close to probably around 35 bushels. We have that kind of space. We have a lot of woods on our property, so. Buckwheat, 1 pound you get 33 pounds out of. 36 to 48 you get 15 to 20 bushels. Corn, 1 to 2 ounces per 100 foot row, 6 to 8 dozen ears. So that's 72 to 96 ears of corn. 12 pounds of corn, 12 pounds of seed corn. You get 750 to 1,500 dozen ears. That's a lot.
1,500 dozen?
So times 750 or 1,500 by 12. If we had 12 pounds of corn, 12 pounds of corn seed, and had enough space to grow it, we would harvest between. Hang on. I'm going to live on the video, even though it's not live, but 750 times 12, you guys.
That's a lot.
March 28th, 1979. That's it. The murder date of the original victim matches the birth date of the new one.
That's not okay. 750 dozen. That is 9,100 ears of corn.
Wow.
That's just out of the 750. The 1,500 times 12.
So this son thinks his new victims are Smith's old victims. Garcia, what about locations? Where did Patty Johnson, Taylor Lee Grover, and Carol Hansen die?
Okay, hold on. Give me a sec. They were all murdered in Alabama in order.
5.
Mobile, Birmingham, Gadsden.
And where were Floressa, Clayton, and Brianna born?
Also in order.
That's 19,000 ears. That's a lot.
Yeah.
A, we don't have the space or the time to do that much. So we're not going to go quite that extensive. We want to do some of each, especially to feed our family and our animals, but we're not going to go top for each. We would need hundreds of acres. What?
I'm trying to get a hold of Leanne. I tried calling her. She's not answering. She told me to call her instead of text her.
So
This killer believes that Smith's victims didn't really die, but hopped into a newborn life.
I don't know, Scott.
So what's he doing now?
All right, millet, 1 pound produces about 55 pounds in harvest. 30 to 35 pounds produces 15 to 60 bushels. 2 pounds of oats produces about 50 pounds. This is per 1,000 square foot, okay? And then the bushels is per acre. 80 to 100 pounds of oats produces 60 bushels. Rice, 3 to 4 pounds, or plants, produces 60 to 80 pounds. 140 plants or pounds produces 65 bushels. Rye, 3 pounds or 3 plants produces 40 to 45 pounds. 90 to 120 pounds produces 30 bushels. Triticale, which I'm not sure what that is, I'll have to look that up. 3 to 6 pounds of triticale produces 35 pounds, or 100 to 180 pounds produces 20 to 35 bushels. Wheat, 3 to 6 pounds produces 40 pounds of wheat. Which, I mean, that's not that much. 100 to 180 pounds, and this is on an acre, produces 20 to 50 bushels. So, anyway, that was it for that part of the growing grains. The next part is backyard corn. That's going to be a separate video. So I'm going to go ahead and get off from here, and I will get this video uploaded. And so if any of you are new to the channel, we are Faith First Farm and Homestead. We have 12.53 acres down here in Oklahoma. We moved down here from Michigan a little over a year and a half ago. And we're not on the property yet. We've been out there a few times. We just started getting some work done yesterday. That video, I did a video out there. It is called... I think it's... I'm getting the title mixed up with another one. Sorry, guys. I do believe... Finally made it to the property again. I keep thinking it's we finally made it. Finally made it to the property again. Then there's a nighttime chat about the property. We have a live video called Faith versus Going Live, where I go and explain more in detail about what got us into homesteading and what brought us down here. And, you know, I have a bunch of different videos about our plans for the property and, you know, like money-making ideas that we've got. And our main goal, one of our main goals, besides self-sustainability and self-sufficiency, is to be able to make all of our income straight from our homestead. So, but there's a lot of different videos on that. And just go through our videos and watch our videos. There's, you know, nighttime discussions about the property, nighttime chats. There's chats about, you know, money-making ideas that we've got, that we are going to put, you know, kick into gear. I'm already starting to collect, you know, things to be able to start making some of the stuff that, you know, we're planning on. T-shirts, glasses, you know, just there's a whole bunch of different things. So just go ahead and go through our videos and watch our videos, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell and click on all, because I do try to upload quite a bit. The video I did yesterday was on the property. The one that's called Finally Made It to Our Property Again. We did a little bit of work out there. And just go through our videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.